We are not looking for any other suspects. We are confident that he acted alone. However, we will do a thorough investigation to be absolutely sure that that is the case. But at this time, we are confident that he acted alone.
We don't know. We have ideas. From what we saw, he wasn't alone. He had someone with him because the second can of tear gas didn't come from his side. He was completely dressed in black, head to toe. From what we saw, it seemed like he had something over his face, probably to prevent him from breathing it in. And we can only assume that someone got him in because he was hit. Whatever he was wearing seemed thick, so I don't think he would really. I think he'd stand out in a crowd.
He appears to be a lone suspect. That they don't think that anybody else was working with him. That according to investigators, they think that he bought a ticket to the movie. He entered along with the crowd, and then he walked out the emergency door unnoticed and left it propped open. And then he then allegedly returned through the same door and opened fire.
Into the theater, grabbed a seat, which ended up to be, I was sitting in the second row, probably 4 seats away from the right aisle where people usually enter from. Another guy walked in after me, sat in front of me in the front row, probably to the far right seat, and I noticed he got a phone call. Most people, when they get phone calls, they would take it out into the lobby, but this person directly went to the emergency exit. And on the phone the entire time, he was propping the door open with his foot, and it looked like he was directing somebody to come towards his direction. And I didn't think anything of it at first, but after a while, once the movie started and my friend and I got situated, about 15-20 minutes into the film, the back emergency door swung right open. I walked into the theater, probably 5'8", 5'9", wearing all black, and he was wearing a gas mask, all suited up in armor. It had a rifle around his neck, and he threw a canister into the audience behind me. And come to find out, once it exploded, it was a toxic gas. I wasn't too sure if it was tear gas, but either way, it was really hard to breathe in.
Dom, you mentioned somebody sitting in the far right seat in the theater. The person on the phone goes to take the call at the exit door. Did they have the same build as the gunman? What are you saying? Do you think these are two different people or the same person?
I'm sorry. One more time.
So this person who you see on the phone goes to the exit door to take this phone call. The next thing you know, this gunman comes in. Are these two different people?
If I'm making out what you're saying, yes, the person inside of the theater, yes, he went towards the emergency exit on a phone call, and it looked like he was directing somebody or looking for somebody to come to his specific location towards the back of the auditorium. And like I said, within 15 to 20 minutes, the door swung right open, and the guy came right inside, threw a gas canister into the audience and started opening fire.
We are not looking for any other suspects. We are confident that he acted alone.
But you spoke with someone who was in Theater 9 where you think the shooter was, and tell me what that person told you.
Well, yeah, like I said, I don't want to upset anybody by anything that I say, but I just don't feel like anybody should be kept in the dark about what happened. The witness that was in Theater 9 was a young woman. She was talking to me. I had asked her what theater she was in, and she said 9, and I just asked her if she saw anything or if anything happened. What she described, at first I didn't translate it quite well. It sounded like madness to me. She said that a man about 6 feet tall, taller than her, kicked through the door, and he was in, like she said, a riot helmet. She said had a bulletproof vest on. She said that he was completely covered in all black with goggles.
And the weapons he obtained. In the last 60 days, he purchased 4 guns at local Metro gun shops, and through the internet, he purchased over 6,000 rounds of ammunition, more than 3,000 rounds of .223 ammunition for the assault rifle, 3,000 rounds of .40 caliber ammunition for the 2 Glocks in his possession, and 300 rounds for the 12-gauge shotgun. Also through the internet, he purchased multiple magazines for the .223 caliber assault rifle, including one 100-round drum magazine, which was recovered from the scene.
Our hearts break with the sadness of this unspeakable tragedy. Ann and I join the President and First Lady and all Americans in offering our deepest condolences for those whose lives were shattered in a few moments.
The main practitioners may have put politics aside, but this tragedy has once again ignited the debate in this country about gun control.
We will take every step possible to ensure the safety of all of our people.